because I don't have time. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. If you are able to see, then let me know. If you have any question, also you may ask me. Okay, I'm going to introduce you the application of the vector error correction. Here I have, as you see, a little bit larger paper, larger variable, and larger model. And after considering this unit root, as you see, when we are employing, it is not stationary, then we will go to the first differentiation. As I mentioned, you have to go to the quick generate series, then you put the DD, and then employ this, and you will do all for first difference. In this application, I will introduce you the correlation analysis, which is also giving you the stationary option in correlogram. And after this, then I will introduce the Johansen cointegration. If you do have any question, you will ask me. If you don't, then I will continue. Do you have any question or anything else to ask me?
No, Hocam, let's start rolling.
Okay. Okay, the group is already open here. I gave the name group 1. I have here the GDP, government expenditure, investment, net export, real exchange, effective exchange rate, employment, debt, public debt, consumption, and capital, public capital. I will go to the estimation. The quick, sorry. We will go to the var, estimation var, and put the parameters here. You may put separately. I will try if I'm able to employ everything. Okay, I will start with the dependent. Let me see the order of this variable. Let me try if I'm okay. Okay. I will follow the line of this table. These are all in I1 in first difference, but I will show you in the following slide the correlogram, which is going to be used for estimating the stationarity, employment, consumption. Okay, I will copy this. This is our model. I will use for log 2. Then we have here the vector autoregressive estimation. From here, I'm going to, because we are not doing anything, we are still in progress to estimate the model. We go to the view, go to the log structure, to the log length criteria, because we have to determine which criteria we are using. Okay, let's try the 2. When we look, the stars shows the suitability of this. The AKT info Schwarz info criteria, Schwarz Bayesian info criteria, HANA Queen, and final prediction is also given here. As you see, these are all becomes available for the LAC2. Then I will employ the model because the smallest is given on this, as you see, for the AKT info Schwarz and Schwarz criteria are becoming smaller. As you see, it is for the 0 to 35, for the 1 to 31, and for the 2 to 2, and Schwarz info criteria, Schwarz Bayesian info criteria, 236, 235, and 229. It's enough for these two for employing the LAC2 to the model. Then we go to the quick again, the theory of statistics. We go to correlogram. Now we are going to use every parameter's stationarity for being able to determine whether it is stationary or not in a given model. I will start with the GDP. Level. In serial correlogram, the serial autocorrelation and partial correlation, as you see, it is 0, 0, 0 for the I0, and it is not available. It is not suitable because here the null hypothesis suppose it is stationary and alternative is supposed to be not stationary. Therefore, we are trying to become the so-called the null hypothesis accepted. Therefore, we have to take the first differentiation of this, the correlogram. Let's go to the first differentiation. It is not satisfied. As you see, then we have to take the first differentiation here. Go to the first differentiation. Now it is satisfied. As you see, the first differentiation is available for the consumption, which one we did GDP considered. Therefore, if the probability values is above, then it is satisfied, then it is supposed to be stationary. Then we accept the alternative. Variables supposed to be stationary to first difference. We will do this for the all parameters. This is for the GDP done. This can be copied and put into the other file. I will go to the quick again. Let's do the and x. As you see, if you don't take the differentiated variables data, this is not satisfied. Therefore, it is better because it was a discussion topic. It is better to take the first differentiation for employing this for being able to understand why I insisted to take the first differentiation before taking the stationarity. Here, as you see, it is stationary for the, what was this? The GDP, because it is the first difference. When we take then, it is not stationary, as you see, for the first difference. Therefore, we will accept the first difference for the taken D and X, where it is the net export at level. We will go to the investment. It is again stationary for the first difference. all is satisfied. If you go through all these estimations, we will see this is satisfied. Then we will go through to the next step. Then we will then go to the quick again, to the group estimates, then Johansen test of co-integration. Then I will do the, okay, and put, okay, then you will take the deterministic trend assumption of test for the third intercept, no trend in the co-integration test for the VAR, and click OK. Then we have this, and when we are looking here, this is also important. This is the crucial point for determining whether we are going to take the unrestricted or restricted VAR. As you know, the guideline, if you remember the guideline is very important here. You are going to look if we are going to employ the vector error correction, the trace statistics are more than test critical value. As you are observing here, we have at most 1, 2, 3, and 4 more than test critical value, and the at most 5, 6, 7, 8 is less than, which is also convenient. Then if it is less than test critical value and the probability is higher than the probability of 0.05, we cannot reject null, and we employ the vector error correction, which is also here at this one co-integration model. An equation is existing when we are looking to the trace, and when we are looking to the max eigen statistics. It is also similarly, the at most 1, 2, and 3 is more than, as you're observing here, the max eigen statistics is more than the test critical value, and the probabilities are less than 0. But the rest, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, the probability more than, and of course the test critical value is becoming also less. Therefore, we determine to employ the vector error correction, the restricted was so called. Go to the quick again. Choose the vector error correction. Yeah, okay. You have to look at the log. Log should be done. Let me check if it is okay. Insufficient number of observations says. Let's choose the one. Okay. Then we have this. Then we go here for estimating the further equations by taking the parameters considered to the make system. Okay, we have done here how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I have nine equations. This is, as I said, to a larger model. Then when you are going to take the first copy of this, go to the quick go to the estimate equation, put the here. If you have any question, will ask me. You put paste here. We will take least square, is okay. Then we have here the long run. As you see, it is somehow 1.5 is positive. The long run is positive number, which means the speed of adjustment to the model is positive, and it is bringing the whole parameters towards the equilibrium when the GDP is becoming dependent. And from this equation and from this model, you can either perform the Wald test, and do the performance of the other parameters that we are using, or you can replace the model to the other equations and control each of these equations, which is estimated here. Let me check here. You can, if you want to control the governmental expenditures, impact of the governmental expenditures, or the impact of the independent explanatory variables, which is here given, the second model, then you control this, and then you will do this. And for the net export, for the real effective exchange rate, you will employ and do the long run impact of the explanatory variables or the given model. Here, then you will perform all. But here, as I said to you, I will not go through the whole model. I will not go through the whole. I will do only the GDP. Then we will go to the view here, coefficient diagnostic. And we have here the Wald test. We click here, and you write here, for example, which one we will do. Let's say, let me go up. Okay, I have to cancel this. Let's see. Okay. I will do for C2, no, C2, no, C3 and C4, okay. C3 and C4, okay. C3 supposed to be 0. C4 is supposed to be 0. Then we will control whether it is, we can copy this. Okay, when we come this, you have the short run now. The Wald test is showing the short run causality of what was this? Is I think it was C3 was government expenditure and investment on the model is supposed to be p-value is less than 0.05, and we reject null, and this is then short run causality for GDP to government expenditure and consumption is supposed to be realized. And then you go again similarly to do the rest Wald test. Let's say C5 is equal to C6 is equal to 0. And we will do again, it's changing again. You see now it's not stationary. Then we will say for 6 and 7, for exchange rate and employment, it is not stationary, and it is of course not expected result becomes. And we go through the all estimations, all parameters for being able to determine the impact of the given model and the parameters on the estimation. If you have any question, you will ask me. Then I will go to the also variance decomposition and impulse response. Do you want me to do further, or is it enough? This is the vector error. How we are going to do, I'm not going to do all one by one, but if you want, I can do the whole, and it will take too much time to you. If it is enough for you, then I will go to the variance decomposition and the impulse response to show you how we are going to estimate and finish this presentation for you. Do you want me to go further, or is it enough for you? Is okay? Or you want me to go further to do the rest? Is okay? Can I get your answer, please?
Hocam, I think I can go further.
You want me to go further? You want me to do more?
For me, Hocam, yes, you should go further.
Okay. You want me to do the next equation, for example, the second equation, how it is?
Yes,
Or you
sir.
want me to do, let me, you don't want to do, I will do then last the variance decomposition and the impulse response, okay? I will repeat once again for the second equation. Probably this will be more comprehensive, we will then understand, okay? I will do the second equation now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is then the first one. It was in this direction. You will do the all parameters until C10. Okay, after C10, then you don't do 12 and what was it C12? I don't see the 11, 12 and 13 because C12 is not necessarily. Then you will go because as you are observing. Sorry, not C2 C12 you will do. But C14 government expenditure you don't do because it is not it is the same. You will skip this and you will do the rest. I will let me do the model, the second model. I will copy this. And I will do sorry. Let me cancel this. Sorry. I didn't find the equation. I have to tweak this, delete this. Do it again. Tweak. So, okay. This is for the second. As you see, it is going from C12. Now we are talking about governmental expenditures, the impact which is in the long run, the impact of the explanatory variables on the governmental expenditure. As you see, it is positive, and it is supposed to be 0.39, which is 39% of speed of adjustment will be corrected this model when we are considering the all other parameters. And you can interpret the wall test also. You are asking me something?
Yes,
Go
hocam,
to the-
please.
Yes.
These C1, C2, C3, what are they? Are they co-integration equations?
No. Co-integration can be skipped. This is then the number of the affection of the parameters, which is the long run coefficients of the model, which is affecting and correcting the, let's say, second equation. I think is we are doing. This is second equation. This is the coefficients of the model. The co-integration we skipped. You attended probably late. Co-integration equation is already done. You want me to start once more because we have
No,
done
hocam,
it.
I can come next to you at any time at the school. So
You
go on.
can You can watch this video. It shows how we are doing. Okay, and here we will go. We will go to the coefficient diagnostic and volt test again. And here I have to look. Let me cancel this. It's sometimes freezing. Let me see. I have to do 12. Enlarge it to see. Because usually I like copy and put into the Word documents, then I will see the variables better, the coefficients 12. And it goes to, let me check. It's freezing. I don't know what is happening. Okay. Okay, C12. Let's do C12 and 13 for 12 and 13, which is GDP, and 13 and 14. No, 13 and 15. Or because we have to skip the government expenditure, it is the same. I said 13 and 15 equal to 0. Then it is satisfied, as you see. Then we will go to the next, which is 15, 16, and 17 with the NX and exchange rate. I said 16. 17. I said 16. 16. Equals to 17. And this is then net export and real effective exchange rate. We will see how it is affecting the governmental expenditure. Sorry, it should be 0. Then you see, again, it is satisfied. This is a good model. I have already done this paper. It is very interesting and very good for our country. This is also done. Very good. We will go to the, you want me to go further? 18 and 19. Then we go to 18 and 19. It is a little bit, you know, spending time to do this several times. 18. And I said 19. All is very good. Is a very good model. It's satisfying and it is good for the second equation also. As you see, it is. And we go to 20 and 21. Will be 0. It is again good. Then it's finished, I think, this 21. Then we go to the third equation. If you want to do the third equation, then you will go again. You understand, I think. We will go to the quick estimate equation. I have to copy it. Then we will copy this. The third one, you will do this for all to see how it is affecting and changing each other. Okay, now look, the C23 is 1.52. It is positive again, means there is a positive relation, and the parameters we considered is positively affecting the investment, which means a good. This will then speed of adjustment for the long run. It is helping hand for us. As you see, the probability is also very good. Then we go to the Walters again. Go view. test. I have to check where we are. So 23 and 24. 23 and 24. Twenty-three is equal to 24. I said, but you know, and this is again good. You see, it is very happily results we are obtaining. Go to again coefficient test. Do for 25 and 26 governmental expenditure investment. I said 25 and 26, 0, 0. And it goes like this. You see, the model is satisfying, and it is happily giving us good results for our presentations. This is the way how we are doing. Do you want me to go further, or is it enough for you? Then I will go to the estimation of the variance decomposition and vector impulse response. Then we finish this. Do you want to go further for finishing this equation also? If you want, I can do it further. I think you want it.
Okay.
25, 26. 6. Is also satisfied. Then go to the last one. I think 30 and 31. 30. What was this? This was investment upside. You can copy and do it also, but accelerate it. So let's say 30, 31, and finish it. We have also kept. Is also fine. And you can do for 31, 32 also if you want. It's all satisfying. Then after then you will go to the next, and it goes like this. Then finish this estimation. After we are having this all done, then you will start to presentation and interpretation of your results. But for vector error correction, we have to also control the variance decomposition and impulse response, whether it is good or not, whether the expected results is satisfying our correlation, so-called the variables or not. Then we will go to the view again. Sorry, we have to go to the quick. I have to write it again. I have to start with the GDP. CD. I have to follow this line. Investment. Adjustment. Change rate. I use 1. Illegal specification says. Hold on a second, I did something wrong again. Oh my God, I have to copy it. I have to do it once again. I should copy it. It's better, too easy to do it. When you are missing something, it takes time. Debt, public debt, consumption. These are all force difference. I will copy this if something happens then. Okay, so I have to take the vector error correction. Let's see if it is working. Can I copy it? I will try lag 2 if it is okay. It's not, you see? So you have to do it again with lag 1. Yes. Okay, then here we go to the view. Then you come here, variance decomposition. You click on it. I want table to do. I have the variable here again as I desired, because you have to use always the same order of the variables for doing this test. This will then help you to perform better results and perform your interpretation. This will then help the readers to understand, follow up your paper easily. Otherwise, it will be more complicated or more mixed data and more mixed estimation. This is not good for you. Then I click OK. Then I have here again this variance decomposition. I have here the GDP, the variance decomposition. You are looking for the higher values, which is expected to be better results. Okay, the GDP is not our subject, our expectations. We are looking to the other parameters, whether it is high or not. We have here the consumption, for example, which is a little bit higher, but the rest of the parameters are not too high, as you see, but at least consumption affects better than the others, we may say. When we are going to the next, we are coming here, the governmental expenditures. The GDP is very high, is affecting the governmental expenditures. As you see, the impact to the governmental expenditure is high. And you may say NX and investment. Yeah, I mean net export and investment is also affecting a little bit. And public debt is also affecting, and capital a little bit also affecting the governmental expenditures. You will, perform and interpret this regarding to your expectations. What is your expectation? Which parameter you are expecting to has more impact to the considered model or models. We have here the investment. As you see, investment GDP is always having a considerable higher impact, and governmental expenditures a little bit, but investment considerably similarly realized. Net export is affecting a little bit comparing to the others better. Public debt similarly affecting investment because it is comparing to the others is high. Consumption similarly, and public capital is also has some impact. Then go to the NX, net export. The GDP is also having some impact. The governmental expenditures, investment a little bit. NX is, as you see, it is same. Is not very well. Real effective exchange rate is very poor. Employment is affecting the net export. Public debt a little bit. Consumption and capital is not effective, you may say. And go to the next. The real effective exchange rate, the X rate we are looking. The GDP is also considerably. The NX and the I think NX and the governmental expenditure is affecting, and GDP is also affecting, but the rest is not very heavily affecting and changing the real effective exchange rate. So you mean the net export is affecting the exchange, as you see, is normal, isn't it? As it is expected, this is very high. But this is NX is not comparing to the others, is not low, it is very high and is affecting, and governmental expenditure is also affecting, and GDP is also having some impact to the real effective exchange rate. Then employment, when we come to the employment, again GDP is affecting, governmental expenditures, investment considerably affecting, very high. Real effective exchange rate is also affecting the employment. As you see, real effective exchange rate is directly related with the inflation, which is affecting. And regarding to the Phillips curve, inflation and wages are related to each other. And since the wages, inflation, and real effective exchange rates are all affecting each other, we are happily understanding why it is so. The real effective exchange rate is also affecting and changing. Investment capacity and the performance is also affecting the employment. And consumption and capital, unfortunately, not much. And public debt, again here, the governmental expenditure is a little bit high. The GDP is high. NX a little bit high. Real effective exchange rate is a little bit high. Employment is high. Debt, as you see, it is same parameter. Consumption is also here affecting. As much as you are increasing, you know, the Keynesian model, consumption and debt, so-called the saving, is somehow each other's affecting. And public debt here means as much as you are increasing the consumption, you are also enlarging and increasing the debt amount. Therefore, it is expected to considerably have some impact to the public debt. And the capital is also a little bit, as you see here, better results comparing to the others. And consumption also here, the GDP is affecting as usually. The governmental expenditures affecting, investment a little bit, NX a little bit, real effective exchange is not very well. Employment is a little bit. Consumption is not related, and capital is a little bit. As you see, this is then how we are performing. Here again, when we are looking to the capital, public capital, GDP is affecting, investment is affecting, NX, net export is affecting, and public debt has some important effects compared to the other parameters. After doing this, then we go again to the view. And now we are coming to the impulse response. Again, we are desiring the impulse response function. Then we have the impulse response results here. As you see, the GDP, the explanatory variables, as we are observing, the investment. Now we are looking to the negative positive impact. And positive values, if you have much negative, this means there is negative. If there is muchly more positive, and of course we are expecting that all parameters positive, then we say positive impact. If it is negative, then negative. Here, when you are looking, the consumption is negatively affecting the GDP and the capital also, but employment also negative, but the real effective exchange rate is positively affecting. Is the relationship between the capital and real GDP is positively related and correlated. NX is also, you may say, positively, because we have very few negative, and investment is negatively also affecting, and somehow positive is positive and negative together. And when we come to the governmental expenditure, the GDP positive, investment some positive, a little bit negative, NX is some negative and positive is affecting. Real effective exchange rate is, again, as you see, negative and some positive. Employment, again, negative. Public debt negative. Consumption is negative, and capital negative. And when we come to the investment, the GDP is positive, as you see. The governmental expenditure is negative, investment is positive, NX is somehow a little bit negative. Real effective exchange rate is negative, X rate so-called is negative, employment is negative, public debt is negative, consumption negative, and capital negative. When you come to the NX, again, GDP is negative, real GDP, of course, we are considering here per capita income is negative, positive, sorry, governmental expenditure is negative, investment is positive, NX is positive, sorry, it is the same. Exchange rate is positive, and employment is negative, public debt is positive, you may say, because only one, and consumption positive, capital positive. And employment, as you see, GDP negatively affected, governmental expenditure negative, sorry, positive, investment positive, NX, net export is positive. NX means export minus import, which means the balance of payments or the current account, which is positive or negative, is affecting therefore it is negative. The real effective exchange rate is negative, as you see, is normal, as I mentioned to you above in the variance decomposition. This is a very good model, really. Employment is positive, public debt is negative, consumption is positive, a little bit negative, and capital is negative. And when we come to the debt, is governmental expenditure is negative, government GDP is positive, there is some negativities. Investment is negative, NX is negative, real effective exchange rate similarly positive, employment negative, public debt positive, consumption positive, and capital positive. For the debt is same, sorry. And the consumption here, the GDP is positive again, governmental expenditure positive, investment negative, NX negative, exchange rate negative, employment negative, public debt negative, consumption negative, and sorry, consumption same, and capital is negative. Then the last one, the GDP is positive, governmental expenditures somehow negative and positive, investment is negative, NX is negative, real effective exchange rate is negative, employment is negative, debt, public debt is positive, consumption is negative, and so then you will then interpret these results in your paper also. This was the presentation for the vector error correction. I will upload this Eview performance to the YouTube also. You can watch if you miss some parts, then you can understand how we are doing these estimations. If you have any question or anything to ask me, I'm waiting your question, please. Do you have anything to ask me?
No, sir. Thank
That's
you.
okay. Okay, then I will upload the PowerPoint also to the queues, and also this video to the YouTube. You can watch next week after Sylvester. I will give you the quantile regression and finish this semester. Quantile regression is the opposite of the linear regression, so-called the OLS. Unfortunately, we will not do any performance, but I will give you the theoretical basement and introduction, and then you will attend to the final exam. If you have any question or anything else, then you will ask me. If not, then I will stop here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
As I
thank
said
you.
to you, okay, if you have anything, you may attend to the last office hour. If you have any problem with the assignments or anything else, then we will discuss it. Okay, then have a nice Sylvester and Happy New Year. I wish you also, you all. I hope you will enjoy the next year better, and it will becomes to you better as we are also expecting. See you then next week. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Happy New Year hocam. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.